My brother-in-law had a strange obsession with asking for milk. Whenever I was working in the kitchen, he would say, "Sister-in-law, I want milk." The way he said it always made me uncomfortable. I would feel embarrassed and try to ignore him. One day, my husband and I were in our room when my brother-in-law suddenly said from outside, "Why are you giving my milk to my brother?" My husband became angry when he heard that. My husband loved me very much. He always treated me with affection and kindness. That day he seemed especially romantic. He slowly came closer to me, and I felt safe and cared for in his presence. Whenever he was near me, I forgot all my worries and stress. I only felt his closeness and warmth. We had completed 1 year of marriage, yet every time he came close to me it felt like the first time. I had missed him deeply because he had just returned from Islamabad after 3 days. Those 3 days had felt like torture. But now it felt as if all my worries had disappeared into thin air. Suddenly, the door burst open. My husband and I quickly covered ourselves in embarrassment. The person standing there was my brother-in-law. He was staring at us in a strange way. The moment I saw him, all the stress I had been carrying for a year came rushing back. My husband scolded him and asked why he had entered without knocking. Instead of apologizing, he started accusing me in strange words. He hinted at things in a way that made me furious. I looked at my husband, expecting him to defend me, but as usual, he avoided eye contact. That was the first time I felt that something was wrong. A husband is supposed to protect his wife's dignity, but mine remained silent. I locked myself in the room later that night. I felt broken and humiliated. I wished I had known the truth about this family before agreeing to marry. As time passed, I began remembering earlier incidents. My brother-in-law would sit in the kitchen and make odd requests. I used to consider him like a younger brother. My husband loved him deeply. Everyone in the house adored him. One day, when I served him milk, he made a strange remark about wanting a different kind. I felt deeply insulted but stayed silent. I wanted to complain to my mother-in-law, but I knew no one would believe me. So I swallowed my pain. Soon I noticed something even more disturbing. My sister-in-law would take my brother-in-law into his room after he asked for milk, yet she would not carry anything with her. I began to suspect something was terribly wrong. One afternoon, I returned from shopping and found the house unusually silent. As I walked past my brother-in-law's room, I accidentally witnessed something that shattered me. The relationship between the siblings was not normal. That night, during a power outage, I saw more than I ever wanted to see. I realized their bond was inappropriate and immoral. I wanted to tell my husband everything, but he refused to listen. He told me clearly that he would never choose me over his brother. I secretly took photographs as proof. When they noticed me, I warned them that I would expose everything. The next day, my brother-in-law tried to intimidate me again. I firmly told him to stay within his limits. When my husband returned from Islamabad, he was extremely happy because he had received a double promotion. I decided to stay quiet that day and not ruin his happiness. But later, everything exploded. My brother-in-law once again accused me in front of my husband using insulting language. This time, things escalated badly. My husband did nothing to protect me. That silence hurt me more than anything else. I locked myself inside my room that night. I realized I was trapped in a dangerous situation. When my brother-in-law attempted to force his way into my room later, I had already placed my phone camera in a hidden position. At that very moment, police sirens were heard outside. He panicked. I grabbed his hand and refused to let him escape. That was when the shocking truth came out. This family was involved in a criminal operation. They targeted innocent girls, arranged marriages under false pretenses, gained their trust, and later exploited and sold them for money. Even the marriage certificate was fake. When I learned that my marriage was not even legally valid, I felt as if my heart had been stabbed. The police arrested all of them. I was broken inside, but slowly I gathered myself for the sake of my elderly parents. I told them only that the marriage did not work out and that I had decided to divorce. Today, I believe this was a test from God. Perhaps this hardship brought me closer to faith. Before marriage, I was not very regular in prayer, But after this experience, I strengthened my relationship with Allah. Now I believe that every decision of God carries wisdom. Dear viewers, how did you find today's story? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you liked this story, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.